Okay, so we are live with the another trigger interview scenario. Hope you guys can hear me. Okay, and my screen is also visible to you. So today we will be discussing another trigger interview scenario. In the last session, in the live session itself, we covered one of the scenarios. So today also we're going to continue with the same series, that is working with the trigger interview scenario. So today we'll be performing another scenario. So before starting, let me give you the training news that we are starting with another batch from 15th of April. Okay, related to the Salesforce training. So if someone is looking for the Salesforce training, can check out the website. Let me show you the course gallery. Okay, so it is open. Okay, so this is our website. If you are looking for any kind of training related to the Salesforce courses, you can just check out the training tab. Okay, here all the different trainings are available. The crash course, this is basically for someone who already done the self study, now looking for some kind of course where we can give him the overview related to the important topics and make him prepare completely for the interview. Okay, and here the projects will also be, project discussions will be there, the many scenario based real time questions and the projects will be there. Similarly, we have development training. If someone is looking only to have the development training, then you can check out that this section. Then we have Salesforce complete training. So this is basically for the one who is looking for complete Salesforce training, and in this we also provide the placement opportunities. Okay, so in each and every course their interview preparation is the common thing. Okay, for any of the course you will going to go, the interview preparations will be there, hands-on projects will be there, projects overview will be given, scenario based real time scenarios will be given. Okay, so similarly we have Apex classes triggers. Only someone is look as someone is fresher and he is only looking for the triggers, then he can check out this. Then Apex triggers and web component, the two main hot topic of today's market. So this is also the course is available, and this is the Salesforce admin training is also there. So we are starting with the new batch from 15th of April. If someone is looking for any kind of training or the courses related to this Salesforce, can reach out to me, okay, related to any queries. So many of you has joined. Now let's start with the today's interview scenario. Let me first share what scenario we were going to perform today. Okay, so can anyone confirm me that you guys can hear me clearly? Okay, and my screen is also visible to you. In the comment section you can just share yes or no. Okay, let me just go back. Okay, so it is there. Okay, so let me show you the scenario. When the user updates, whenever the user update the user of the opportunity record, then update the opportunity description with the updated user name and its email address. Okay, so what you need to do, this is the Salesforce opportunity. Okay, so let me open one of the opportunity. This is one of the opportunity, and here we are having the owner. Okay, so in each and every record you will going to have the owner. Who's ever going to create the record will be the by default owner, the login user. Okay, so this is the owner. So the current scenario is that whenever you will going to change this owner, then its name and its that is the new owner, whatever will be the new owner, then its name and its email address should be updated to this description field. Okay, so let's suppose currently the Kanika is the owner of this record. So user came and updates the owner of this user to another user. Okay, so one more user I am having in my Salesforce, that is the another user. Now let's select this and click on change owner. So what should happen in this case, as soon as user will going to update this owner, then the updated owner name, that is the another user, will be came here and its email address will also be updated in this description section. Okay, so this you needs to perform. So now first thing is what event you will going to use in this trigger. Okay, so here the question is, whenever user updates the user of or the owner of opportunity, we can make it as owner, so it should not be confusing. So whenever the user update the owner of opportunity record, then update the opportunity description with the updated user. So here you need to make the changes on the same record, correct? So the type will be the before here. Now, when the requirement is willing to update the description field, whenever the user will going to update the opportunity record. Okay, so my event will be in this case before update. And what will be the object on which you will going to create this trigger? So you need to update the opportunity description, and whenever the opportunity owner is updated, so your triggering point will be this opportunity record. So my trigger will be written on the opportunity. Okay, so these two things needs to be first clear, then only you will going to write the perfect trigger. Okay, the event and the object. So now we are clear that the object we will going to select will be the opportunity, and the event will be before update. Okay, so now let's proceed with the requirement. So we're going to create a new trigger. So this is my fresh hour. So this is the last scenario which we have performed. Okay, now let's go to the trigger. We're going to create a new trigger which will be on the opportunity. Okay, so the trigger on opportunity, as object will be the opportunity here. Now let's select opportunity. Where is O? Okay, here it is here. Now let's select submit. So the opportunity is trigger is created on object opportunity, and the default event which always used to be there is the before insert. But in my current scenario, we will going to use the event before update. Okay, now side by side also create the opportunity handler where we will going to add the logic. So always try to create the handler, as it is the best practices also, and it is very useful to manage the complex scenarios. So handler is very useful for us. So try to have the practice of creating the handlers. So this is the handler name we have given. Okay, now let's save this. This is done. Now the next part is, first we will going to add the checks. Okay, that my method should run whenever the trigger is before update. So how we're going to add these checks? Using the context variable, where if trigger dot is before and then trigger dot is update. Okay, if these two conditions are satisfied, then only we will going to call our handler. So this is my handler. Okay, and now in this we will going to create one method which will going to update the description field. So let's create one method here, public static void update description. Okay, now this is done. When method is added, we're going to call the same method here. Now the next part is come here is, once you are able to decide the event and the object, then comes what context variable you will going to use. Okay, what are context variable which will going to help me to give to get the records on which we will going to perform the automation. Okay, now here, as this is the before update, in case of before update, you will going to have the value in all four context variable, that is in trigger.new, trigger.new map, trigger.old, and trigger.old map. Okay, but from these four, we will only going to use two. The one will be the one which will going to give me the new version, and the which will going to give me the previous version. The new version is always stored into the new and the new map when it comes to before update and after update. Okay, and the previous version or the older version always stored into the old and the old map. Okay, so we will going to use here trigger.new and trigger.old map. Okay, these two will going to use. This will going to give me the previous value before the updation of the record, and this will going to give me the new values after the updation of the record. Okay, of the same record. Okay, so using these two, we will going to identify whether the record owner has changed or not. So now let's go back. Let's add these two context variable here, trigger dot new and the trigger dot new map, sorry, old map. So this is done. So the two context variable we have passed here, so the same we will going to access in this method. Okay, so what it will be, so trigger dot new always give the list, so it will be the list of opportunity. and it will be the new list of opportunity. Okay, now the next is trigger dot all map always give you the data into the map form. Okay, so we're going to add the map here, map where id and the opportunity. Now this is the, okay, so sorry, this is the new list and this is the old list, old map of opportunity. Got it? So this is done. Now let's first save this. Okay, so let's save this Apex and also save this trigger. Okay, so both are done. Now what you need to do, first we will check whether this list has value or not. Okay, that is the new list. First we'll check for this whether this list is empty or no. Okay, if it is not empty, then only we will going to move to next line. What you need to do here, one by one the multiple data will be stored to this list. Okay, so it can have one record also, or it can have more than one to this list. Now using this list only, we will going to identify whether the owner has changed or not for the opportunity. If yes, then we will going to get the values, the name and the email address for that particular owner and update it to the description field. Okay, so this is what we will going to do. So now let's take help of for loop, for each loop. The data type will be the S object, which is the opportunity. Okay, then this is obj, and this is the list on which we will going to add this for each loop. Now in this next line, we will going to confirm whether the owner has changed or not. Okay, we only going to run our logic if the owner field is changed. Okay, it should not be like this. The user came to the record, but instead of the owner field, it has changed the amount field. Like suppose I am the user and coming to this opportunity record. Okay, so this is the opportunity record. Now instead of changing the owner, I just change the amount. Okay, so from the amount I just revise this amount value and save this record. So at this time I did not change the owner, but yes, my opportunity record is updated. Okay, so in this at this point it will going to call your method. Okay, trigger will fire because the update is done. It will going to call your method. In this method, now it's your duty to check when the user updated this record whether he has changed the opportunity owner or not. Okay, if yes, then only I will going to execute my remaining logic. If not, then we will not going to execute this. So how you will going to check? We will going to now take help of old map. Okay, so using this old map, we will going to verify whether the previous value of the owner is same as of the new value. If not, then only we will going to proceed. So here itself we will going to add the check if this current value, okay, so that is the new value of the owner, is not equals to old value. Okay, it should be different, then only we will going to proceed. Okay, so we're going to get, use the get, then here comes the id, and from here we're going to check the owner value. Okay, so if it is different, then only we're going to move forward. So what you need to do, if it is different, then you need to update the description field of this owner of this record with the opportunity name, owner name and its email address. Okay, so if you try directly to do this in this way, let me do this, dot description is equals to, this is the, then after providing these spaces we're going to add the name. Okay, that is the email address. Sorry, the next is email address we need to add, right? This is the email. Okay, so this is what most of the candidate used to think, that here itself, as this is user is the lookup field, and from the lookup we can directly get the name and also the email address. So if you were going to do this, then in this case you will not going to get any value updated in the description field, because when you debug these two values, it will going to give you none. Okay, at this time, using this new list, you cannot access the value of the name of this owner and also the email. Okay, so this will going to give you the blank value. So how you will going to get the owner name and the email address? You need to take help of SQL query. Okay, using the SQL query, you will going to retrieve the name and email address, and then you will going to update it into the description field. Okay, now let's try this. So what we will do here, we will going to take help of map. Okay, in this map, we will going to store the owner ID. Okay, that is the string we will going to store, and the opportunity record we will store. Okay, so this complete record we can store. Is equals to new, and then this. Okay, so if you guys are having any query or any question in any of the line, can post me, okay, over the comment section. Once done with completing with this scenario, we'll take up all your chats, then we'll discuss. Okay, so here what we will going to do now, the map we have created. In this map we will going to put the values. Okay, dot put in the key, what we need to put, we will going to put this new user. Okay, the one which is updated into the record, and next we will going to put the opportunity record. So you can only put the ID also, or you can put the complete record opportunity. So let's go with the ID only. Okay, so we're going to put the opportunity ID instead of putting complete record. So let's put the opportunity ID here. Okay, so this map is done. Now let's come out of this loop. If this map is not empty, because we will now going to use this map, so let's first check if it is have value or not. Okay, so if it is not empty, then what we will going to do, we're going to query out the user records. Okay, from there we're going to get the name and the email address. So user is my object at this time, so obj user. Okay, we're going to do a SQL query, select ID, name is the one which I want, and the email address is one which I want. Now from user, so this query will going to give you all the user which are available in your org. Okay, but always whenever we used to perform any SQL query, always keep in mind to add the filters. Okay, try to filter out your query as much as you can. Okay, so that you will going to get only the data which is useful in my code. Okay, so we will going to filter this out. What condition we will going to put, where this id, okay, the user id is belongs to the key set of this map, because in this key set, in the key also we put the ids of the user. Here basically these owner are the user which are available in my Salesforce org. Okay, so we already put all these as the key in this map, so based on this key we will going to query out the user data. This will be the key set. This is done. Okay, now one by one the data will going to come to here. Okay, now you need to store this data so that we can able to update these names and email address here in this opportunity record. Okay, so what next we will going to do here is, if this map dot contains key, is what this key contains, the map for the key for this map is the owner id. Okay, so the same value we will going to map. So what is owner id here? The user id is the owner id here in this line. Okay, so the same thing we will going to add. Okay, if this contains, then we're going to create the another map. Okay, So let's create one more map here. Where now this time we will going to put the ID, okay, and the user record. Okay, so here what we will going to put, if this is this id, so this is just for the safer side we added this check, okay, because obviously we will only going to get, using this query we will only going to get the data which is available in this map, okay, but for the safer side we also added the check again. So if the id is available in this map, then we will going to create another map. In this we will going to put the id of this user and then the complete user record, okay. So now let's use this map dot put. Here you can put the id, and here we will going to put this complete record. Okay, so this part is done. Now let's come out of this loop. Once we are able to fill this, okay, what next we will going to do here is, let me have some space. Okay, so you fill two map. In the first, over the new list, we done the iteration where we created the map. First, we check whether the new value is equals to all value or not. Okay, so if it is not equal, then only we will going to proceed. So in this case, we fill one map where the key we put as the user ID and the value we put as the complete user record. Okay, so this opportunity ID. Okay, so this map is done. So basically why we created this map, so that based on this key set we will going to get the user. Instead of creating the map, you can also create this set. In this set you can put all the owners ID. Okay, now this set you can use here directly and get the records which are available, okay, which satisfy this condition. Once we are able to get these records, then here we created the map so that we can get this user ID, okay, and the complete user record. So why we created this? When we do iteration on this new list based on the owner ID, I can get the value from this user record. Okay, in this user we are having the name also and we are having the email also stored here. Okay, so now let's take help of the new list, or instead of this you can also perform this task in the way we did this previous one. Okay, what we did in the previous one using the let me show you here. Okay, so those who joined the previous session related to these triggers, so they remember we created the map and using this map new list we have updated. Okay, so there will be the no need of using this third loop. Okay, that is the new list. So in this case, using the map itself in the second loop, we did the all updation. So now let's try here with the another loop where we will going to update the opportunity record. So now let's take the help of this. Okay. Now here what you will going to do, directly we will going to check in this map. Okay. So if this map contains key, okay, what key we will going to add here in this map, if we will check, the key you have added is the owner ID, correct, and what common will be the value in this opportunity, this is the user ID you have added, and here you will going to get the owner ID with the same or the common value. Okay, so this will be the owner ID. So if this contains this, then what you will going to do, nothing you have to do, directly update the description field. Now this is the description. Okay, what you need to update from this map, we will going to get So this will be the value. Always key we will pass when you use the get. Okay, what we will get the name plus after providing some space we will going to add the email address. So this will be the email. Okay, so instead of this we're going to add the email. Nothing else we have to do here. Now there will be no need to provide any to add any kind of DMS, because this is the before trigger we are working on, and in the before we never perform any kind of DML. Okay, it automatically gets updated if the updation needs to be done on the same record. Okay, it will going to get updated automatically. Now this part is done. Now let's save this. Remember, so this we are working only on the update, not on the insert. So any query related to this solution you can post. Okay, if not, then let's move to the checking of this scenario. So let me check once again. This is trigger dot before update. The two values we have passes, and then the map we have created, and this is the thing we have did. Okay, now let's go to the opportunity record. Let's refresh. So currently in my description field there is nothing. We are on the opportunity. Okay, now let's change the owner. So let me add the Kanika here and click on change owner, and let's check the description. So if you will see here, the description is updated with the name plus with the email address. Now let's try to change this to another user. Okay, so current user is here, the updated one. Okay, so from the previous one we updated to this Kanika. Okay, so the same updated one values are here. Now let's change to another user. This is the one. Now let's change this. So here you will see this time it is changed the value with the new user which we have updated or selected in this owner field. Okay, so this is how your scenario will going to work in case of update. Directly you will not going to get the values of name and the email. You need to take help of this extra step, that is using the SQL query. You will going to retrieve the name and the email address and then update the same to the new list. Okay, whatever the changes you will going to do, you need to do on this new list, then only you will going to see it here. So any queries, any question in this scenario can post or can let me know. Okay, okay, no queries. I think the scenario is clear. Okay, so will not show tomorrow. Okay, I will try to come tomorrow also with the another scenario of trigger. Okay, at the same time around 5 or 5:30. Can will meet you soon then tomorrow. Okay, if having any queries, anything, can contact me directly. Okay, over the LinkedIn or using the comment section or over the live chat. So, and if anyone is looking for the what we can say, this is the trainings which we are providing currently, can let me know for in case of any queries or anything. Thank you so much then. Bye.